Lately, the price action has had me thinking, do I just sit out on certain days and wait for conditions to change? Or do I expand my playbook so that I have strategies to fit all market conditions? Both Monday and Tuesday this week, I saw setups that would have worked, but I didn't take them. And it has me wondering if I'm being too rigid or if this is just actually what discipline looks like. Let's take a look at the charts. Monday, I was looking at getting into a trade here. I was looking for my B strategy to set up. So my B strategy is I've got the 1 minute opening range marked out there. So B would be when it breaks the opening range, comes back, tests it. So in this case of a long, it tests the high, it finds support, and then it continues up, breaks that previous high, comes down, tests again, finds support again, and then I would get in after it's found support the second time on it. Um, I didn't take this one because this is the signal candle setting up now. I felt that it came down too far below. Like I think it was 12 points lower than where it had found support the first time. In hindsight, this would have been a great trade. It didn't have a big stop or anything, so maybe I shouldn't have been so hesitant on it. Like if it's a small stop, then I think it's a safer trade to take. And this one, actually, the upside on this was huge. I think this probably was the best trade of the day. It went for, like, it would have been buying the low of the day, basically, and it went up at least a couple hundred points throughout the day. So it would have been a nice move to catch. And unfortunately, I didn't. So I'm just working on refining these strategy B rules so that I can get into these trades a little bit more. But right now, I don't have the rules laid out enough to where I would have felt comfortable taking that one. Now, this is later in the session. This is another thing that I've been contemplating lately because of my time window and when I can trade kind of changing a little bit. But so I've got the initial balance high marked out here. And I know some of you trade off the initial balance. So the initial balance is just the first hour, the range that's created the first hour of the New York session. So I marked it out on the chart. I didn't take the trade, but I was thinking, okay, it broke the initial balance. It came back down. It tested. It appeared to find some support. So I just marked out those lines of where it would be like this again, like 12-point stop. And then I think I set the target at 2 to 1 up there on it just to kind of see what would have worked. I don't typically trade the initial balance. I don't have a set strategy around it. It's just something that I always kind of keep an eye on and I always think about because it's, um, like if I don't get a trade early on, then I could come back. And then also you can easily set alerts around it. So I am trying to work on trades where I can set alerts around them and get on with other things here and then come back and put on a trade. So that's why I'm watching this initial balance stuff lately. So this one, it doesn't quite go to the 2 to 1 target. Like this would have been a decent trade for like a little, maybe, I don't know, 15-point scalp, 15. I don't know if I got 20 there. But then what happens, price comes down and it would have taken that out. Um, So what I'm trying to figure out is how do I get into these initial balance trades? So there, it would have came down and taken that one out. But now this time it goes up and it keeps going and this would have been a really good trade. Yeah, so it's just figuring out how to get into these. And I think it's largely stop placement, right? Like I could have taken that first entry and say my stop was like, I don't know, 30, if I calculated on percent, like 30% into the opening range. I'm not sure. I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure it out. If any of you guys have paid a lot of attention to the initial balance, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear it. I'd love any input on it. I'm just, like I said, looking at different strategies and trying to add to my playbook so that I can trade different times and in different conditions. Similar kind of situation here today. This again, so you can see I've got the 1 minute opening range marked out. It was like less than 20 points, so I stay away from my C strategies on those days. But my B strategy just came up there, but without the retest or the second entry on it. However, I am thinking of refining it to take it on the second entry when the 1 minute opening range aligns with the 5 minute opening range. Because this would have been basically, from what I can see, the only good trade of the day so far. It's the day's not done yet, so maybe more happened. But on the first day, 3 hours, yeah, so its price broke that 1 minute opening range and also happened to be the 5 minute opening range, came back up, retested. I got a nice signal candle. The MA is going down, it's below the opening range, entries below the MA. I think that I can get in on the first entry when it's like that. I'm not a range trader, but this, like, watching this today and the last few weeks, I've been thinking, should I be developing a strategy for trading ranges? Because they do happen and they do seem like fairly easy trades, like if you can catch it. So I think on this one, definitely, uh, well, before this, I think once we had two touches near the bottom and two up at the top, then we know, okay, we're in a range, and it would have been pretty safe to just buy near the bottom and sell near the top, or sell near the top and buy near the bottom. I'm not sure. If any of you guys are range traders, let me know if there's any tips on trading a range, because I think it's worth looking into and it's worth considering because, there were definitely a few good trades in this range today. So that's the question that I'm wrestling with. Am I just trying to force trades by looking for more ways to get into the market? Or is this actually me just refining my strategy B into something that's more complete? A playbook that will work across more market conditions. That's a balance that I'm trying to figure out, and I would love to hear from you. How do you handle this? Do you just sit out on days where you don't get your A plus setup, or have you adapted your playbook to catch more different kinds of moves like these range days? Or, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I'm super curious about this. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, leave me a like, comment, subscribe. I forgot to mention I do have a ton of free resources on my Buy Me a Coffee page. It's all geared towards building discipline in trading, staying off tilt. There's one on self-sabotage to maybe get to some deeper issues in why you keep going on tilt or going off plan. Anyways, that's all free. So if you think it could help, go and check them out, grab them. And if I'm not back here tomorrow, it's because I'm sick and my voice is gone, not because I blew up my account. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.